See, and this is why I told a lot of you people, you don't need to panic about getting EBTs. You don't need to panic about, well, hey, I'm not going to get my November benefits. You're going to get your November benefits. Say you get your benefits on the 5th. You may not be getting your benefits on the 5th. You may get them on the 17th. You may get them on the 19th. You may get them on the 10th. See, all that uproar, all them videos that everybody was making, my baby's got to eat. My such got to eat. If I don't get this, if I don't get that, I'm going to go in the store and start stealing stuff, doing this. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Just get out of the way. That was uncalled for. That wasn't necessary. But you see how a narrative can actually make people react and kind of get out of character when normally that's not who they really are. Or if it was who they really are, they tuck that person away deep inside. But I told people from the jump, you don't need to panic. They're not ever going to get rid of food stamps. It keeps the balance in the economic system. Benefits, food, EBT, I say food stamps. EBT helps businesses. EBT helps like farmers. It helps the agriculture. Helps a lot of stuff, man. They're not going to get rid of that. I know, and a lot of people really, really thought I was really, really fooled, man, to actually think that they wasn't going to give y'all no EBTs. Like, come on, man. Y'all have to understand the patterns, bro. Anytime the government shuts down, there's always something that is affecting people. Government shut down, federal workers are not getting paid. Once the government reopens, all them paychecks that them federal people didn't get paid, they're about to get in one lump sum, bam. And you could take a look at our previous videos. I even said this. Whenever the government does reopen, they're not only going to give you your monthly benefits of what you normally get, they're going to give you a little extra. And that's just what it is. That's how it's always been. Sometimes you have to pay attention to the reoccurring events year to year, every year. Because even if it's not every year, it can be 2 to 3 years. The same events always transpire and happen over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's just a cycle. And I can't believe people really fall for the new narrative of, oh, no EBT. Can you imagine a world without EBT? Just imagine. You know how many stores and will actually go out of business without EBT? A lot, man. You know, but we're going to watch a video, see what they're talking about. Hopefully this is the right video.
And 30.
Okay, so the government shutdown as it stands right now, 31 days, 17 hours into this thing. That means we're technically in the 32nd day of the shutdown. Also, SNAP restrictions. That's something we've been discussing all week. Now Politico has this. Nearly 42 million Americans have lost their food stamp benefit.
That's false, bro. And I see why Trump now says Fox News be fake news. That's false. 42 million Americans have not lost their SNAP benefits. They just have, it's just going to be delayed. That's fake news, bro. That's not real. That's not real.
Standing by is Aaron Pellish. He's a reporter with Politico. He's been tracking this. You know, this has been such a big talker all week, the SNAP angle to this shutdown. Everybody was talking about the beginning of November. It's November 1st. What do we need to know today?
Other videos old.
Yeah, you're right, Austin. Everyone was looking at November 1st as this key checkpoint on when and to see if both parties are going to be able to solve the shutdown, barreling toward the longest U.S. shutdown, U.S. government shutdown in history.
All right, let's look at this. We'll watch this real quick.
Hello, thank you. We have some breaking news coming into the Atlanta News First newsroom right now. President Donald Trump's administration has announced that it will partially fund SNAP after a pair of judges' rulings required it to keep the food aid program running.
We still have a lot of questions. It's not clear how much beneficiaries will receive, nor how quickly they will see that value show up on the debit cards they use to buy groceries. The administration says it could take up to 2 weeks in some states. Of course, we will keep you updated on.
They really did a 31-second segment to let us know that Trump said he's going to partially fund EBT. Let's see if we find some other stuff in here, guys.
Build a website you love with Wix.
And no, we do not have YouTube Premium, so
Create your brand.
The Trump administration now says it will partially fund SNAP food assistance. This comes as we rapidly approach the longest federal government shutdown in U.S. history. The White House made the announcement in response to a federal judge's order, but the Trump administration says the money will only cover about half of each eligible household's benefits for this month. Unless there's a breakthrough in Congress, this shutdown will break a record on Wednesday for the longest shutdown ever. Now restaurants are stepping up and joining to try to feed people in need. In California, 300 Carl's Jr. restaurants are offering $1 meals for affected federal workers, military members, and for SNAP recipients. Let's start this hour with NBC News Chief Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan. Ryan, I know you're out at a food bank.
Carl's Jr. about to capitalize. They said 300 Carl's Jr.'s, $1 meals. Carl's Jr. about to capitalize. They most definitely about to get it in, man. Eat. They ain't playing. No game.
Bank in Virginia. What are people saying about SNAP now that it's set to be partially funded?
Yeah, Kate, this food bank in Virginia has seen a steady stream of traffic all day long because the need is as great as it's ever been in this community. And the executive director of this food bank telling me that she is somewhat satisfied or relieved that those partial SNAP benefits are going to come through. But she insisted that that is not the solution to the problem, that the government shutdown needs to come to an end or this need will just increase. In a food bank like this, close to Washington, D.C., they've got the companion problem of not just those SNAP benefit recipients who are worried about where their next meal may come from, but also furloughed federal government workers, many of whom have had to use a food bank for the very first time because they've now gone two separate occasions without a full paycheck. And for the folks that we talked to here today, there's just a lot going on that's making life very difficult, and finding out when their next meal may come is just part of it. Take a listen.
Food prices, number one, is so high. And then not being able to go to work, or you're not being able to get the hours that you need. This place you can come to and you can get stuff for your family that you can put together.
Right.
And I think it's a really good program to have.
And Virginia is, of course, one of many states where the state government is attempting to fill the gap that the federal government may leave behind. But Kate, the problem with that is that well could run dry as well. The uncertainty is still a big problem for many across the country.
Ryan, some Democrats are criticizing President Trump for his Mar-a-Lago Great Gatsby-themed Halloween party on Friday. Democrats also increasingly calling on the president to get more involved in shutdown talks. What do they want to see?
Well, they want negotiations around health care, Kate, and that's another big part of the problems that many Americans are dealing with, and that is that healthcare premiums could skyrocket for millions of Americans who take advantage of the Affordable Care Act if those premium subsidies are not extended. And what House Democrats and Senate Democrats want is for Republicans.
All right, so they going off subject where we actually made a video about EBTs and stuff like that. So they kind of go a little bit off topic with us. For us, partially funded EBTs, partially funded free money is better than no money. So don't complain about that. Once again, here's the thing, see exactly how much you got. Budget how much you got until you get the rest of whatever you're going to get. The problem is with a lot of EBT users and EBT holders who got cards, they just go into the store and grab anything. They go into the store, put this in the car, 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 put this in the car. Next thing you know, even if you do got a $500, even if you are getting $500 a month, next thing you know, you went to the store and you didn't spend about $300 in one trip. And then now you're going to the store, buying little gummy worms, going to the store, but go get you a slushie. Going to the store, getting the kids some chips, getting some Laffy Taffy. You're doing miscellaneous stuff. You're not being very and we understand everybody's not gonna be financially responsible EBTs. We get that. But for the people who get those big amounts, there's no reason you can't make it work. I know people who get 900, like they get big amounts. Like if in 900, we got 4, I think you may have about 3 or 4, about 4 kids. You can make that work a little bit. You know, that's almost $190 a week that you can go spend at a store. Better than most people. But I just think that with EBT and stuff like that, people just need to really wake up and realize that the program is not for you to stay on. Yes, there are people in situations like elderly people that need that can't work. Yes, there are people that have certain disabilities, they can't go and get a job. We understand that. But for those people who are capable of going and getting a job, and for those people who just want to be lazy and is eat off the system forever, there has to come a point where you realize, I mean, you could do better than going down to the government building and filing for some EBTs, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they got kind of off subject of what we're saying. But this video was intended to let you guys know that we made a video about this. I always knew they was never going to let EBTs go. They can't let it go. So just make sure when you get your EBTs this time, make sure you budget in your stuff. Don't go into the store trying to, buy everything and anything. It don't matter the price. I just seen somebody in there buying $25. I just seen people in the store buying $25 ribs, like shit like that, buying $25 steaks and Kroger's and shit with an EBT card. That don't even make sense. It don't. But anyways, man, shop responsible with your EBT.